everybody, it's May and I am here to answer your questions about my Kickstarter campaign and about my writing life in general. I wasn't gonna do a video like this, but some recent events, including but not limited to some bullying on Tumblr, kind of inspired me to answer any questions that people might have. I wanted to shed some light on what it means to be a self-published writer and what it means to kind of deviate from the norm of seeking representation in an agent and seeking publication through a big or small publisher. So a lot of the questions that I got on Tumblr were clearly in bad faith. They wanted to make me feel bad about seeking community support to fund my first novel. Here I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt because some of the questions, while they were supposed to be insulting, are actually pretty good questions to ask if you're curious. So I'm just going to answer some of those questions and pretend like they were in good faith. There's this misconception that people who self-publish are people who can't get their manuscripts picked up by a publisher or can't get an agent. That's not true for me. I've never sought an agent and I've never sought publication with a big publisher. If I were to publish with a publisher, it would probably be a small publisher, somebody that I already have a relationship with. And that's just what feels right for me. It's not right for everybody, but when you're a person like me and you like to maintain a certain level of creative control, it's just the way to go. I would rather do that than have to stand my ground in an environment that may or may not be suitable to what I want to do creatively. And that's no shade on anybody who chooses to do that. It's just not how I want to do things in my life, and it's a personal choice, always. One question I got was, isn't the point of self-publishing the fact that you don't need money to do it? I don't really know where this idea came from, because self-publishing it's an expensive endeavor for a creator to take on. And not only that, but if you want to do it well, there are a lot of things that you need. You need a designer for your cover and for the inside of your book. You need preferably another person to read and edit your manuscript and work on getting it where you want it to be. For me, as a self-published person, it would be somebody that I trust to tell me the truth, and somebody who understands who I am as a person. There's also the issue of printing cost, which the author covers. It's usually coming out of the total price of the book. It is coming out of your what you get for royalties. So the more expensive it is to print your book, the less money that you get back. One criticism of the campaign is that you can learn everything that I am seeking to teach in my community resource part of the campaign on YouTube or Google. And I'm not going to say that that's not true, but the thing that I am offering and that I hope to offer with every project is an opportunity to connect with myself and with other people and to create community and create discussion around certain topics and certain struggles that all writers have. That's why I think writing this book in a sort of like real life way, like communicating with people as it's happening, can be a really good resource for people who are seeking to learn about what it's like to write a book and take on that test themselves sometime. There are portions that I have written, and there are sort of maps that I've created in terms of the direction that I want the plot to go. All of the major plot points are pretty much established, but it hasn't been written yet. That's kind of the point of the project. Another comment I received was, an abortion is how you lead off? That's the beginning of your tag? Throwing abortion in like a plot device? Do not like this at all as someone who has had an abortion. Fair if that's how it feels to you, but for me personally, this book is about abortion and it's about choice, and it is also about religious zealotry and how that can play into this sort of haunting guilt that follows women and other folks who have abortions around. It's not just a plot device, it's meaningful to me, and I think that the reason why I put it at the beginning of the pitch is not only does the book begin with an abortion, but the story is about abortion. So in my defense, I think that I was just kind of being forthcoming with what the book is actually about. My wife's bookshop tried a few self-published novels and short story compilations. I don't think one was sold. There is a reason publishers won't touch them. Again, no publisher has seen this book, and if your wife needs tips and tricks on how to sell a self-published novel, she can email me and I will be happy to help. The reason why this project is important to me, it's because I have seen, and if you're on writing Twitter especially, you've seen the levels of jadedness and burnout that writers and editors are experiencing. They're being overworked and underpaid just like any other industry, just working ridiculous hours for a ridiculous salary and feeling like they're going nowhere. And what I really want to accomplish with this project is to put the power back into the creator's hands and say, we don't have to be beholden to these bigger systems. We can do things on our own, in our own way, with our community behind us, rallying behind us. And as much as I want the community to rally behind me, I also want to be one of the people rallying behind you. And the more support that I get, the more support that I can give. And it's not knocking people who are published with big publishers or small publishers, which I very much support small press, as anyone who knows me knows. I love working with small press and independent freelance editors and all of that. I'm all about that. But the really essential message that I want to get across is that we have the means as a community to create real quality work together. Growing up the way that I did, I always got this message that I had to do everything myself, and I kind of internalized that in a very real way. But I have seen these incredible crowdfunding campaigns that support folks who don't really need the support but already have an established fan base. And the point that I want to make is that the little people can do it too, and that you're important, and that your dream is important, and that together we can make each other's dreams come true.